Hello everyone and welcome back to my official The GH24 News YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we begin, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Gloria Cerullo returned for the Giovanni Gio Palmieri extremity while Jason Morgan and Anna Devane clicked after Charlotte Casadine's blow-up. At a hostel in Buenos Aires, Charlotte criticized Anna for the peril Valentin Casadine was in, but Jason spoke to Charlotte intimately and tried to ease the pressure. Jason refocused out that Anna was the reason Valentin and Charlotte were suitable to flee in the first place. Now Anna was trying to keep Charlotte safe for Valentin, so Jason allowed. She merited some respect. Once Charlotte went to bed, Anna asked Jason to take Charlotte home on his own. Although Anna allowed. It'd be stylish for her to catch a latterly flight and avoid pushing effects with Charlotte, Jason allowed. That'd be a mistake. Jason suggested Charlotte demanded a good illustration of someone taking responsibility for their conduct like Anna had done. In the end, Jason and Anna agreed to take turns sleeping so they could watch out for Charlotte. In Carly Spencer's office, Sasha Gilmore Corbin turned down her job offer. Quartermaines, she decided to stick with her current gig, especially since she had a nest egg now. Carly knew that effects could get tough for single mothers, but she reminded Sasha that she had Jason Morgan if she'd let him step up for her. At sunup, Portia Robinson encouraged Curtis Ashford to make peace with Drew Quartermaine. Curtis was open to the idea if the terms were right, but he sounded skeptical over it being possible. After Jordan Ashford arrived with news on Drew's rearmost conduct and claimed he was out of control, Curtis decided to fight back with a media drive involving Drew's abuse of power. At the PCPD, Drew rode with Tracy Quartermaine in the interrogation room and pledged to get his way. Drew also made a vaticination about Tracy being the one on the outside looking in by the time he was through. Coming on Tuesday's GH occasion, Laura Collins spoke to Martin Gray, who admitted he'd lost his grip on the situation with Drew. Harrison Chase wasn't happy about having to arrest Tracy, so he turned to Laura for backing. Soon later, Laura pushed Drew to back down and move the surveyor not to press charges against Tracy since it wouldn't go well for him politically. Drew caved in, but he advised Laura this was over and told Martin that he'd break Tracy. While Tracy got updates on her freedom, Emma Drake brought some chairpersons outside the vault since Gio was bivouacked out there keeping watch. Emma gabbled with Gio for a bit, but she eventually had to take off for an event against beast atrocity. Inside the Quartermaine manse, Gloria intruded Brooke Lynn Quartermaine's attempt to caff Lois Cerullo about the relinquishment details and her Martin meeting. Gloria admitted she knew about Brooke Lynn's baby and that she was the bone who pushed Lois to seek out Martin. Although Gloria was part of the unrestricted relinquishment agreement, she claimed she hadn't had any contact since the paperwork was inked. Although Brooke Lynn bothered she might have given up her only chance at a child, Gloria pushed her to leave this alone and just let her child keep living his life. Once Brooke Lynn walked out in gashes, Lois plotted with guilt and wanted to tell the verity about Joe's lineage, but Gloria claimed the secret must remain under wraps. Outdoors, Brooke Lynn sat down with Gio outside the Quartermaine vault and offered a vague interpretation of why she was worried. Gio didn't need the details and offered support before admitting he missed his mama every day. Brooke Lynn touched Joe's shoulder and assured him that he'd people looking out for him. At Maxie Jones' place, Dante Falconeri explained to Lulu Spencer that he was on babysitting duty. Lulu opened up to Dante about floundering to connect with Rocco Falconeri, but Dante allowed. Lulu was doing great after all the time she'd missed and viewed her return as a phenomenon. Although Lulu putatively came near to professing her passions for Dante, he got called out of the room when Bailey Lou Jones woke up. Lulu pretended she forgot what she was going to confess when Dante asked her laterally. Dante and Lulu's road to a reunion will be a rocky one, so don't miss what's in store. Quartermaine will land at the center of a takedown piece that could start his indictment. The disgraced Solon could pay the price for all his bad jest. So let's talk about what he's up against. For starters, Emma Drake just recorded a videotape outside the Quartermaine vault that could prove rather damaging to Drew's character. As that videotape makes a splash online, it's going to look like Drew's abusing his power for particular vendettas, not to mention he isn't actually doing the work he was tagged to do. Although Drew was pleased to see Tracy Quartermaine arrested, he may lament taking all the tomb drama too far. Of course, Drew also isn't hiding the fact that he's in a relationship with Willow Corinthos. The reproach of Drew getting together with his whoresen's woman could come a bigger factor, especially since Michael Corinthos is out at a clinic recovering from severe becks. It's clearly not going to help Drew's image now that he's moving Willow and her kitties into his house while Michael's suffering. That's not a crime, but it could add to the overall nausea and public pressure to get relief of Drew. Drew played the good Joe to get tagged, but it's going to be tough to keep people on his side, especially formerly Curtis Ashford makes sure a cutting composition gets published against him. There'll be a big news story that's all about Congressman Quartermaine being under fire, which could lead to violent pressure to run him out of office. Drew's rearmost feud with Tracy could bring further trouble than he bargained for. Drew easily hasn't been making numerous political musketeers anyway, so this could be the morning of the end when it comes to his soul and career. It's easy to imagine this takedown piece being the launch of Drew's downfall. Will Drew eventually get impeached once this composition rakes him over the coals? Will all the counter-reaction Drew's receiving be too delicate to bounce back from? Still, that could lead to him getting an indeed more minatory character, if Drew's indictment is just around the corner. Drew's formerly doing some terrible effects, but he may really take effects to the coming position once his career blows up. Anyhow, our GH prognostications allude that Tracy may get the last laugh when it comes to all the vault conflict, so stay tuned for updates on Drew's punishment. Jason Morgan will carry out a dangerous charge while Jocelyn Jacks tackles a challenge. Brooklyn Quartermaine will also confess to Dante Falconeri, so some fireworks are about to erupt on the ABC cleaner. First, it looks like Jason could land in some peril as he follows Charlotte Cassadine's trail and tries to bring her home. Valentine Cassadine could strike back against any ambush Jason might make, so he'll have to keep his guard up. Still, Jason will be determined to reunite Charlotte with Lulu Spencer and keep a pledge to Anna Devane. While Jason works on that plan, Jocelyn will have a new challenge to concentrate on. That's because Jocelyn has officially demurred off her WSB training and will have a new tutor named Vaughn to deal with. Jack Brennan formerly seems to have a specific design in mind for Jocelyn, so Vaughn will help Jocelyn prepare and navigate effects along the way. Back in Port Charles, GH spoilers say Carly Spencer will settle on a significant choice. Will that involve hitting the wastes with Brennan or commodity differently related to their love? It's also possible Carly's decision will involve Drew Quartermaine and whatever bold move she might make against him. Nina Reeves should be making some bold moves as well now that the situation is getting more serious. Willow Corinthos is set to move in with Drew, so both Carly and Nina will be motivated to pump the thickets on this love before it progresses any farther. Curtis Ashford is bound to find out about Drew blackmailing Portia Robinson ultimately, so that could leave him feeling revengeful. Of course, Drew is making adversaries each over the place, so he shouldn't be surprised when his downfall inescapably happens. There'll be plenitude of people ready to fight back against Drew, especially if he keeps up all his bad jest. As for Isaiah Gannon and Jordan Ashford, they'll start to fall harder for each other. Jordan and Isaiah may land in bed together soon, but it could be the calm before the storm if Jen Sidwell troubles on the horizon. Next, Brooke Lynn seems poised to make a major concession to Dante. After Lulu threatens to gossip to Dante herself, Brooke Lynn may yield and unmask the whole teenage gestation story to her former camp honey. Dante will eventually find out Brooke Lynn hid a child from him, so that news will throw him for a circle. Once Dante wraps his head around Brooke Lynn's relinquishment stunner, he'll lash out over the secrets she's been keeping. Brooke Lynn will have to confess to Harrison Chase as well, since she left out a pivotal detail when she told him the verity. Chase knows about Brooke Lynn giving up her firstborn as a teen, but he doesn't know Dante was the father. As for Lois Cerullo, she'll sweat the worst as all this relinquishment drama starts blowing up. It'll leave Lois bothered that Giovanni Gio Palmieri's true lineage could get exposed, so stay tuned for further prognostications on all the chaos. We'll bring some highs and lows, so stay tuned for updates on all the big surprises and fierce face-offs.